Today I'm going to be doing the exhaust on the Vette. I'm finally going to do kind of extend the exhaust that's there since I just cut it off, and then I'm going to put my new tips on there that I got from a buddy of mine up north. It should look really good at the end. I like the way they look. They're a little bit different than what you normally see on Corvettes, and I'm pretty excited about it. Hopefully it all works out. These tips are for a different year Corvette. They're for a C6, I believe, and they're supposed to just kind of slip on, but the way that I cut my exhaust, I thought it would work a little bit easier than it's going to, but I have plenty of tubing and everything should weld up fine, and hopefully everything works out. But right now, I'm gonna go ahead, start cutting the tubing, start welding up, and see how it goes. So the plan here is to go from the stock exhaust, which is a 3-inch exhaust, and I have some 3-inch tubing here, and then we're gonna downsize it using these down to a 2.5-inch, which is the same exact size as what fits inside the tips here. I believe they're SLP tips or something. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know exactly what they are. I believe that's what the previous owner had told me. But that's the idea here. These tips are pretty heavy. I might have to do some kind of mounting other than just having them go onto the stock exhaust, since it would just, there's no hangers even remotely close to where it is now. I think the only thing that's holding it is where it bolts up to the stock H-pipe, and this definitely is not going to be able to hold itself up. So what I plan to do eventually, hopefully today, if I do need to, if not I'll just run it without the tips for now, but I'll go ahead and drill a hole through here. This is a solid piece, and do some kind of mounting up here, and then do some kind of hanger and hook it to the frame just so it doesn't move around and doesn't put too much strain on the exhaust. But as for today, main thing is just to build off of the stock exhaust where I cut the stock mufflers off, and go from there and try and hopefully avoid this one part of the car that is really close, since it's not the same as a C6, which is what these tips are made for. So first thing I'm going to do is right where this notch stops is right where I'm going to cut off, because there's no clearance for the inside of this, and I'll have to make a super tight turn. Even with cutting this off, I'm still going to have to make a tight turn right out of this. It does go in quite a bit into here, so I'm just going to cut this off, and then I'll notch this so that it's able to squeeze. I did get some actual clamps for this, so I'm gonna able to clamp it right there, but I'm gonna have to make some more clearance here, so that way I'm able to make a sharp turn around, and then we'll expend it after we get down to this 2.5-inch over to the 3-inch, and then that way we'll hook it up to the stock exhaust. Now that I've got clearance for the back, and for it to actually be able to go back far enough, and that way I don't have to make as tight of a turn, we can go ahead and start cutting out the tubing, hopefully start tacking everything up, and then I will have to raise the car, take the tubing completely off. You know, I'm gonna have to unbolt it. It's around the axle, so you have to raise it pretty high, and then I'll be able to weld everything up so there's no leaks or anything. Next thing to do is take these, get them all cleaned up, and I'm going to weld these. It's 2 of these per each one, and then this is obviously for each side. And then after I get that, I can get my measurements out for the rest of it in order to kind of go up to the rest of the exhaust. I just don't know how far I need to kind of get out of the way of that thing that's right in the middle. So that's why I'm going to build these, weld these up, at least tack them up. I'm not going to weld them completely. And then I'll go ahead and slip them in there, kind of mock up the exhaust, see if that'll be good enough, and then if it is, then we'll continue doing the rest of the exhaust. If not, I might have to cut a few more of these. So now I'm having trouble. I'm not too sure if this is really gonna work out, and I didn't even really want to put these on like permanently, and in order to actually get them on, looks like I'm gonna have to cut, and I don't really want to, because this exhaust really, I mean, I just got it for cheap, so I figured I'd just do this for now and eventually get something nicer. Please excuse the background noise. I've got a bunch of people in the street doing a bunch of stupid shit. I don't even know why. Very irritating. Go away. Anyways, I'll show you what the issue is. If you look down here, it's that right there. This thing right here. This is what's in the way. And it's just this right here. Pull this out. You can see I cut the tabs off completely in order to give me some more room just to make that turn even tighter, and I'm still just not getting enough room behind this in order to make that turn. It's just the thing is like right there, right in the way, and there's really just no way to make it actually look good. It would just be sticking way too far out, or I'd have to cut that thing, and again, I didn't really want this as a permanent solution. I thought it'd just be cool for now. But, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll call it a day. I'm sorry, I didn't really do too much in this video, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and peace out.